go play. Chicken! Thank you! Oh, yo, I get greens? Nom nom nom. Oh, I can't forget about my plate. Thank you, Sally. Here's your money. Bye! She actually gave me the food that I wanted.
Hi everyone and welcome to Downright Blessed. I'm Crystal Keys and welcome to our day. Mason and Zoe are back here playing somewhere. Hi! So an IEP is a document, and it talks about the different ways that the school can help and meet the needs of the student. And Mason's had an IEP since he was in 3rd grade. What was your favorite parts about the IEP?
I guess I have one technically. What I liked about it is how a lot of teachers, like a lot of them, I don't know if they had a class or maybe not, they just all showed up for me. That made me feel kind of special and that they're working hard to fit my needs. That was my favorite part about it, probably.
All your teachers showed up. Your Sarhage and Mr. Martinez both showed up. So a lot of teachers showed up just for you. And is there anything that you liked about specifically what they said about you?
Well, I don't know. Like, it was all just like normal stuff, like having good relationship with teachers and cooperating in class. I guess it was all kind of good.
They had a lot of good things to say about you.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Made me feel good. I like that part about it.
Yeah. Do you think you can relate pretty well to all your teachers?
Yes.
Yeah. At the end of the meeting, I said, thank you so much for investing in Mason. And a couple of their teachers responded, it's kids like him that make them keep going. It's kids like him that make it worth it. Do you know what that means or what they're talking about?
I guess they're talking about like surfaces or something. I guess that there's like more people like me that have dyslexia, that kind of stuff.
There are other people with dyslexia. I don't think that's what they were talking about though. They said it's people like you that makes them keep doing what they're doing.
Their job, that's what it is, I think. No?
Well, it's a compliment. It means it's people like you that show up, do your best, try, and participate. It's people like you that make them want to keep teaching.
That's a good answer.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. So it's not that you have dyslexia. It's not that they're teachers. It's you. That you show up and you try your best.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
What about you? Are you proud of you?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your best gift about having dyslexia?
I don't know exactly, actually. That's a tough one. Maybe the quality of like all the other teachers, I guess, that help me with dyslexia and other problems that I had with that.
You mean because you have dyslexia, you have some special teachers like Mrs. Presley and Mr. Sarhage?
Yeah, if I didn't have that, maybe would have never met them. So I guess that's a part of a gift.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
What do you think of yourself more as? An engineer or a student with dyslexia? Or does dyslexia, you don't even think about dyslexia, do you?
It's mostly just neither.
Neither. But you're always building
I think myself
stuff.
as a good student.
Yeah.
And that's almost going to high school.
It's true. Well, thank you.
Yay.
Love you.
Love you.
It went really good. A lot of IEPs are legal language type of stuff. A lot of talk about minutes. Kind of can skip over those parts, but it is important to pay attention. I took notes. It's interesting. Let's see here. Of course, my note page closed. Okay, I found my notes. So I don't know if this is across the board federally or if it's different state to state. Yeah, it is. It is different state to state. For our school district to be able to qualify for SSD, SSD in our school district stands for special school district. It's special ed. In order to qualify for an IEP, you have to have a discrepancy, and this is what it says. A severe discrepancy that's 1.5 standard deviations from the mean, I guess, or from the average. So that means within the bell curve, right? Here's your bell curve. Within the bell curve, if the standard is here, but you fall too far outside, or if the standard is here and you fall too far outside 1.5 away from the standard deviation, that's considered a significant difference, significant statistically. There's a lot of numbers in IEPs. There's minutes, there's scores, there's statistics. So I like math and I like statistics, but I don't necessarily really want to talk about that in an IEP. I could see how parents would get sort of frustrated maybe. So if you have those feelings within an IEP, I can understand that. In Mason's IEP, we talked a lot about how his dyslexia, his learning disabilities, affect his performance in academic areas. We also talked about how it affects his performance in non-academic areas. And they took into account my perspective, Mason's perspective, our accounts of Mason, and we added and took away, and we changed it as needed for his annual IEP. Mason's speech language pathologist brought up a really good point, and I'm glad she put it in his IEP, and it is, she worded it, adverse listening perception. Somebody's perception of Mason after listening to him speak, and obviously he's in speech for a reason, he needs that speech component. Someone listening to Mason speak might perceive him as not being his age, not being really smart and intelligent, and that would be wrong. He is 13 and he's very smart, very intelligent. I didn't really ever think about that before, but maybe Mason just chooses really, really great, wise friends, because all of his friends, I don't think they perceive him as being less than intelligent. The parts about his IEP that include scores, reading levels, where everything is quantitative, right? They have to measure everything. It has to be measured, quantified, and put in the document. There's parts of that that I don't like, and I told Mason this. I said, I don't like it because that number doesn't reflect on how I think of you. I think you're a great, amazing engineer, and that number, that reading level, doesn't change my perception of you. I think you're awesome and very, very smart, and that number doesn't reflect in my mind on you. And I know they have to put it in there, right? I know that what they're doing is good, and they need that quantifiable measurement in his IEP. And he was present during the IEP, so they mentioned his reading level, and they mentioned some numbers, and I'm not going to repeat them. I don't know if Mason was listening that well and really heard exactly what they were saying with those numbers. I don't know if he did, if I went and said, hey, you are at this reading level, and told him the number, if he would think any differently of himself. But I'm not going to do that, because any parent, you look on social media, and any parent wants to cheer and hoorah, and my kid got straight A's, my kid's on the honor roll, my kid got this scholarship, and those are great. It's difficult to put into words. Will Mason likely get straight A's, be on honor roll, get really great scholarships? Is he likely to do that? No. Are our expectations, are our parental expectations for him to do that? No. I feel like I want to be his cheerleader so bad, I can't do it in that way, and that's fine. Because again, our expectations are not for that. I wish I could have recorded the IEP, because the things his teachers said about him were so true and so amazing. It makes me really, really proud of this kid. So his teachers said he's really smart, he's really bright, he advocates for himself. They said he participates, he doesn't goof off, he engages with the teacher and the other classmates, he gets his work done. So all great things, all great things. At the end of the IEP, thank you for investing in Mason. Thank you for investing in my son. And 2 or 3 teachers, this was on a Zoom call, so it's difficult to tell how many. 2 or 3 teachers said, we do this for kids like him. For kids that show up, participate, are ready, willing to engage and follow through. This is why we do this. And it was such a huge compliment, because I know Mason. I know what a stand-up guy he is. Responsible, empathetic. He cares about his teachers. So if there's an honor roll or an award for having a really kind, stand-up kind of kid, he gets that award. I'm just gonna make one for him, and I will cheer for that every day. A lot of you I know have kids with IEPs. Their learning disabilities might not be as severe as Mason's. They might not be as severe as Zoe's. They might have a slight learning disability, or they may have outgrown their learning disability. But whatever it is, I hope you really find what your kid is good at, what your kid is interested in, and cheer for them and advocate for them in that way. And if their scores on something are not the best, that's okay. Are they kind? Are they a pretty nice person? Let them know. Encourage them in that way. If we could all have parents in our neighborhoods, in our communities, that cheer for their kid being nice, think about how that would impact our communities. If you're the parent who is in the IEP meetings and you're getting discouraged, not for just the scores or the levels, the statistics and the minutes and all of these numbers, just take a breath. Those numbers are not your child. Those numbers don't reflect your child's worth. They're just numbers. It's okay. Just breathe it out. There's a lot of numbers in an IEP. Just let them be. Let them go have a number party, and you go have a let's have some sushi party, or whatever your kid likes, right? Just let it go. Your kid is your kid. They're not based on those numbers. Enjoy your weekend. It's Friday. We are so excited. So, spoiler alert, we have a food truck coming to our street. We're so excited. We've never had anything like this come to our street. Have a great Friday. Thanks for joining our journey.